Good, everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Learning Dragon Ball FighterZ with Leona. As always, I am Leona. You knew that. I knew that. Some people might not have known that, but that's fine. Because we're here to talk about everything that happened in February, because it was a lot. I want to start out by saying thank you to the folks that came by the streams. They were pretty brutal. All of the streams were an absolute beatdown. But I had fun sharing the love that I have for fighting games with some new folks and some old folks who came by and was like, wait, this game is actually sick. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's awesome. So, thank you guys. Thanks to all the new folks who have joined the channel. Just like started watching. Really appreciate y'all. Hope you stick around. We have a couple things on the docket to talk about today. This is going to be a new structure for this because I actually did some things in order and we'll talk about them as such. I will start with February 1st. On February 1st, I played a bunch of casuals with some acquaintances in a communal Discord server. And let me tell you, these people are monsters. It is kind of wild knowing what I know now and looking back at some of the sets that I played on the 1st and the 2nd with some of these folks and knowing, oh, I knew basically nothing. I knew jack and shit about the game. I kept forgetting about Reflect, my key blasts, how to vanish. I didn't remember which button I had mapped Dragon Rush to. I didn't remember, like, there were certain things where I was like, oh, you're falling this way, and then oops, you're on the other side, and now I'm dying. Just, like, so many things. Just, like, common gameplay mechanics that I just forgot to recognize. Like, I just forgot to, like, commit them to memory. Just like, oh, I can use, like, they buffed Reflect a while ago, so now you can reflect, like, actual strikes and not just key blasts. So I'm like, oh, I can do this now on defense. And it's like, oh, I can vanish here to prevent, like, myself from getting absolutely owned by my opponent's super, right? Like, there's so many of these that I hadn't even considered. And that was part of the thing that I learned from those casual sets. Now, obviously, at that point, I had not really practiced a whole lot of anything. It was right after the last month's upload, and I was not prepared with anything yet. I had not practiced anything new or really tried to work on anything old. I just showed up and tried to play. And I got absolutely waxed. After that, we had the stream that Friday. Now, I didn't stream Dragon Ball at all in January because I kind of wanted to keep it a surprise. But I had been playing it for a little bit since then. Obviously, I just told you about the sets on February. But I had been playing it on and off basically since the end of November. Just here and there, trying to get back into the swing of things. And nothing really got me back into the swing of things like the stream on the 6th. Playing against players that were closer to my level was very helpful for learning how certain moves connect. So I kept running, like, obviously, well, I'll get the problems out of the way. There was this one person who ran SSJ Goku, and Goku has that, like, dash into the overhead knuckle attack, and I got hit by that, I think 12 times in one set. Like, it just kept doing it over and over and over again, and I was just like, they're gonna change it up. And then they didn't, and then I didn't block high, and it was just like, well. So, I have to be very careful about overheads in this game. I'm so used to fighting games not having... Like, I'm used to fighting games having, like, high-low mix to this degree on maybe 1 or 2 characters. And I'll be prepared for it there. I'm not used to having it on every character on the roster. I am very much not accustomed to the speed at which characters will hit you with an overhead and then do 40% to you if you didn't block it correctly. It is a little jarring, I gotta say. It's something that I am going to have to get used to, because not only do I have characters that do that with Kefla and Jiren, but every other character is able to just, like, hit you with a light jump in and then just take you to the corner. I gotta kind of break the bad habit of blocking in one direction just because it's the safest way to block. That's issue number 2. But I think that's all I have from that Friday. I did not play to my best, but I improved, I feel like, quite a bit. Not only just, like, getting a little more familiar with, like, all of the tools that all of my characters have, but specifically, I was paying more and more attention to 21's steals. This will bring me to a very important revelation that I had over that weekend. So, one of the more important things that I've learned about 21, and I don't actually know if she had this initially, because, you know, this is fucking 2018. I didn't know shit about fighting games. I was mashing buttons. But now, if you say, use Sweet Tooth on a character, you are going to get moves according to the class of character that you hit with it. Cell's an android, so you get all the android moves. So I get this. I also get the barrier, right? However, 21 has something special. If while the animation is playing, I hit buttons, so there I hit light 4 times, I will steal specific moves. So now I can do something like that. Not only can you fire off all the moves in sequence, if they're all different, so that one counts as different because the grounded Kamehameha, the grounded solar flare, do count as different moves from the air Kamehameha and the air solar flare. So, if I were to do this, let's do light, medium, special. We're gonna do something stupid. I guess that didn't work. I don't know if this is right either. Nope. Maybe this? That works. Okay. So the reason that, like, the other one didn't work is because I think if you get the... Like, if you get the little... I don't know what it's actually called, but the little command force, like the little command grab palm attack. It counts as, like, an aerial move. So I don't think you're allowed to do anything after that, but... It's very important, nonetheless. Having the ability to just fire all of those off, just like whatever it needs to be. So like if I do that, I don't actually know what this is gonna do. Oh, cause that version is the that's not the destruction ball, that's the... Yeah, that's like the vanish. Okay. Point being, I still don't know what any of these moves do if it wasn't totally obvious. But I have another arsenal in my toolkit. One that I don't know how often I'm going to get to use, but I'm glad that I have it. Because I think it's very cool, and it can be very useful to just fucking... to eat somebody. Just, like, spend it on stupid stuff. And then just, like, let it rip. Okay, I spent a little time fucking around. I actually did figure out a route where this works. So if I do this... and I just, like, do, like... that works. Which, I don't know if that's good or not, but it's cool. Now, after that, I spent a little time in the lab, you know, just messing around, trying to figure stuff out. I did a bunch of research. I would like to thank NovaZayn for all of the guides that they've produced. Huge help to me. If any of you are looking for guides or, like, helpful advice for Dragon Ball, I could not recommend NovaZayn enough. Very well-edited videos, very informational. Everything is laid out right in front of you. Just like, it was easy to follow along for someone who has trouble, like, you know, I'm dyslexic, I have trouble, like, following some of these things. Just very, very, very good, high quality, and very helpful videos. Link to NovaZayn's channel in the description. Go give him a sub. Honestly, like, go check him out. After the week of homework was done, I signed up for the TNS bracket. If any of you don't know, Tampa Never Sleeps is one of the, like, very few, like, almost wholly online bracket runners, right? They run everything: Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, Tekken 8, and then every now and again, they rotate through a bunch of, like, old school, kind of, like, out of the current zeitgeist fighting games. And the second week of February was the TNS Dragon Ball bracket. So, obviously, I signed up for that. And I got absolutely rinsed. I'm just gonna throw up tournament footage on screen right now. It was not pretty. Aside from the first round, which I played against an opponent who was actually not, I guess, legal to enter the bracket, because it was North America only, so Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And then all of the United States regions, like Puerto Rico. I have to say that correctly, otherwise Alex is gonna get mad at me. All of, like, the U.S. and all of its territories, Canada, Mexico, right? The player that I played against in round 1 was actually from Brazil. And I didn't notice that. I thought the game was just running at, like, kind of a choppy frame rate. I didn't think the connection was all that bad. But I'm not gonna go into it that much. I don't want to put this player on blast. They're actually very good. It's just, you know, it was unfortunate that they weren't allowed into the tournament because of region stuff. Because, you know, turns out playing from quite, like, that kind of a distance really puts a strain on your internet, right? But after that, I got immediately sent to losers. And again, just ran over. Just absolutely, like, mowed through. But I learned quite a bit about my defensive options in this bracket. So while I basically did not run any offense, like at all, none, I felt better about how I was blocking and what I was trying to do to fight back on defense. Obviously, I didn't, like, take any games, but I did pick up a character or two between the main bracket and the what was it called? The, like, redemption bracket, because I played in that as well, because, like, you know, I was in and out of the main bracket in, like, 15 minutes, so I had plenty of time. The redemption bracket went a little bit better for me. I actually did take a game in round 1 of the redemption bracket, and I felt pretty good about that. I got real close to taking another, like, to actually winning a round, or, like, winning the set in the first round, but, you know, you can't play, you're never gonna play perfectly in like, a high-stakes situation like this, unless you're, like, a maniac, which I might be insane, but I'm not a maniac. There is a difference. Point being is that I feel like I did pretty well for my first time playing in, like, an online bracket for this stuff. I've seen a lot of high-level gameplay of Dragon Ball, but I've never experienced it for myself. And let me tell you, it is a whole different world out there. The shit I've been doing, it doesn't even compare. Immediately following that, I guess not immediately following that, but during that bracket, I was starting to make better use of my assists. I'm gonna put Kefla on point here, because that's where she's at normally. So, like, I was, like, starting rounds, but, like, you know, it would be, like, ready, start, and then, like, I would fire off an assist, because I saw an opponent just fucking send, it was, like, one of the UI Goku assists, just would send it at the start of every round. So, like, I had the thought, what if I just started doing that, you know? And, honestly, I think the round where I did that, I actually did a lot better. So, the thing about my assists is that, I'm still not used to running games with assists. I'm also not used to how the windows for calling them work. I do know that I can do special things off of them. Like, if I get this hit, I can, like, get a combo off of it. Jiren leads to all kinds of stupid stuff with the Jiren Infinity Rush assist. But I am still struggling to find the best, not even, like, the best places to use them, just, like, good and meaningful ways to use them, right? Like, just firing off the Destruction Ball is, like, fine, and Infinity Rush is always gonna be good, but I'm realizing that, like, Jiren is pretty slow to summon, and, like, 21 is very frail. So, like, if she gets hit while using her assist, it's gonna be a problem. That's where I'm at with assists. I'm still working on getting used to calling them, along with running, like, offense and pressure and stuff, and, like, everybody else is, like, calling assists, doing huge combos, like, getting, like, Dragon Rush combos off of some of these things. And I'm over here, like, just barely able to remember to summon them. So, this is gonna be the biggest hurdle, I think, for me. Other than just, like, blocking and playing neutral, calling assists is going to be the biggest struggle for me. And it probably will be until, I don't know, the end of time. And then finally, we have the stream on the 20th. Now, this went very similarly to the stream on the 6th. I got my ass kicked a lot. Just a lot. However, I was being more purposeful with the buttons that I was pressing, not only in neutral, but to use my combos. I will show off the combos that I've learned after I'm done talking about this. But my point about this is that I am getting to the point where I am able to be more deliberate about the buttons that I am pressing. I'm not just like flailing on the controller trying to get any damage out whatsoever. And while I'm not perfect, especially with Jiren, Jiren is a beast of his own. But with 21 in particular, I am more comfortable than ever with like her mid-screen B&B. Kefla is getting there. Not perfect. There's still some timing stuff that I am struggling a bit with. But she's coming along much better. I realized partway through that stream that so 236S, your like big like spin up and then dash forward and throw a fireball, that only works in the corner. So like even though like I realized that, but I was still like just doing it on instinct. But some things that I learned from both TNS and from like casuals, I managed to put into practice for that stream. Mainly, Kefla is like what is it? I guess it's like the 214. So Kefla's 214 moves, mainly the overhead knuckle, and then also the dash, the one that like side swaps. Like I was able to make much better use of those just because I remembered that I had them. Particularly with the overhead dash, because it's so fast, like they're not like a lot of people are not going to be able to react to that. And I did get somebody with it, and I felt pretty proud of that. Just like remembering, oh, you know, I've got the big overhead that I can like send somebody into the moon with. So, you know. Also, I managed to do the full 21 like sweet tooth spend. So like I just I didn't press any buttons. I was like trying to talk to people in chat. But I had like it was a Kame house. It was like Tien or Goku. I don't remember who. But I ate one of them. And then I just like stole all of the Kame house moves. And I managed to just do the full like hit them, and then send the Kamehameha, and then just mash special to get all of them out. And that was also very cool. I quite enjoyed, you know, being able to see and do that. Like that was, I was pretty proud of that. Just like being able to do it in the moment. All right, now I'm going to show my progress with combos. Again, I have not really gotten to Jiren that much. Jiren's combos are very, very complicated. They're very high maintenance. So I am spending more time with Jiren than I would be the other two. But as Kefla is my point and 21 is my anchor, I wanted to make sure that I could like utilize them as effectively as I could. Jiren's good enough, like neutral is good enough that for the time being, I'm getting away with not having optimal combos. I'm just kind of doing what I know and trying my best. These two, on the other hand, I have been working really, really damn hard to make sure that I can do what I'm able to. So I'm going to show off Kefla's current B&B from mid-screen. I'm all the way on the left side of the screen, but this does work in mid-screen. And then 21's new mid-screen B&B as well. There we go. So, that is, I think, the exact optimal that I'm looking for. I may have missed an attack in there somewhere. I think I can squeeze in a Ki Blast or two there at the end. before I hit the JH. But that is exactly what you are looking for. And let me tell you, it took me so goddamn long to land that combo. I think it took me 3 days of just, like, booting up, attempted it for 30 minutes, having to get up and go do something else because my brain was fried, and just repeating that over and over and over again for, like, 3 or 4 days. This combo nearly broke me. But I got it! I got it! And while I didn't land it in any games, I am able to remember the route for it, and then can make use of that. So it is something to add to my arsenal that I can practice and improve as we move along. Let's move to 21. Much, much simpler than Kefla's. But you can carry your opponent to the corner from anywhere using this ability. I believe so. I believe it is correct that you can carry anyone to the corner. Not to mention, this combo allows for an assist at the end. So if I try... I fucked it up, but you can squeeze in an assist there, like whether it's Jiren's or Kefla's. I don't know exactly which one leads to a better combo, but that's just going to require, like, testing on my part, and then maybe asking around for people that are more knowledgeable about it. But this combo is much more flexible than the other one, because I can do a couple of things. That's one thing that I can do off of it. Kefla's is a lot harder to do that with. Because Kefla's ends while she's in the air, you're not able to do that kind of a string off of Kefla's combo. Unlike 21's, where you are able to get, like, you are able to just dump meter off of it. Not to mention, you do get a steal off of it. And if you are able to, I believe if you're able to, like, do one of the follow-ups, you can, like, incorporate the steal or do a second one off of, like, the combo reset, which is very sick. But that's all I have for this time, everybody. This was a huge amount of information that I just dumped on all of you. So I apologize if you had trouble keeping up. That's fine. I'm having trouble keeping up. This is a very, very dense game. There's so much going on in each individual match. Like, the team synergies are one of the coolest parts about, like, versus games. And they're also one of the reasons why, if you're trying to learn them from, like, the perspective of actually getting better at the game instead of just mashing, oh boy, you have a ton of information that you have to take in. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. I'm getting there with the help of friends. Mutuals on Blue Sky have been helping me a lot. I've even gotten advice in my fucking Tumblr tags, which has been wild to see. But I've gotten a lot of encouragement from folks, and I greatly appreciate all of you supporting me through just, like, everything that I do, but, like, this especially, because this is always fun. Always a challenge, but it's always fun. So I want to thank you guys for supporting me. If you liked what you saw, you can check out more stuff on the channel. You can drop a like, drop a subscribe, so you can see more videos in the future. If you feel like supporting me directly, there is a Patreon link in the description below. It helps me pay for my medicine so that I can stay alive and keep doing this. Other than that, everybody, I will see you guys in about a month with more Dragon Ball. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.